Hello my dear students. So in today's session we are going to cover the chapter number 5, that is language of chemistry. We have completed previous 3 sessions and in today's session we are carrying forward the previous topics. But let's just have a quick recap of the previous session. We have studied about symbols of elements in the previous sessions. We have studied about valency, elements with variable valencies. We have studied about ions. That what are ions? Ions are the charged particles that are formed by the donation or exception of the electrons by any element or atom. Okay. The next one were cations and anions. These were the positively and negatively charged ion. The next topic that we have discussed was monoatomic and polyatomic ions. Okay, so these were the ions on the basis of number of atoms present in it. If the number of atom is only one or single of a particular element, then it's a monoatomic ion. And when the number of atoms are of different elements, then it is polyatomic ion. The next topic that we have considered was chemical formula of a compound. So we have also studied about the chemical formula of some compounds. And what's a chemical formula of a compound? It is basically the representation of any compound and the composition of that particular molecule of compound. The next topic that we have discovered was rules for writing chemical formula. We have also studied the rules for writing the chemical formula. The first rule was just write down the symbols of the components that are just a combination in the compound, and then you have to write the valency or charge under them. After that you have to just interchange the charges or valency, and then you will get the final chemical formula. Okay, and the next topic that we have studied in the previous session was significance of chemical formula. That what is the importance of writing down the chemical formula or having a chemical formula of a compound. So that importance was what? The first thing, that it denotes the name of a particular compound The second thing that it just signifies is that it also tells about the composition of elements in the particular compound that we have taken. Okay, the third thing is it also tells or shows the number of atoms present in it of different elements. As you can see, if I am taking the example of CO2, then it gives the name of CO2, that is carbon dioxide, as well as it is giving us the composition that in this compound there is an atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen. So this is what is the signification of the chemical formulas. Okay, the next topic that we have studied was chemical equation in the previous session. What is a chemical equation? As we have studied that a chemical equation is the representation, or we can say symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Exactly. Whenever we want to write down the chemical reaction in the form of words, then we take the use of chemical equation. Just like if I have a substance, I have two substances, that is A and B, and they are having a chemical reaction, and then they will produce C plus D. This is the basic example of chemical equation. Now the other things, other terminology that we have discussed was reactants and products. What are reactants? The substances that are undergoing the reaction were known as reactants, and the products were those substances that are produced after the chemical reaction. Okay, so these were the topics that we have discussed so far. Now we are moving with the next topic that is on your screen, that's chemical equation. So we are considering some other points in this topic, that is, in a chemical equation the reactant entities are given on the left hand side and the product entities on the right hand side. As I have told you that if I am mentioning the chemical equation as A plus B gives C plus D, so on the left hand side these are the reactants and the products are mentioned on the right hand side. Okay, so this was the first point about the chemical equation. The second point is a plus sign is placed between the entities in both the reactants and the products. As you can see here, that when I am taking the reactants, I am writing A plus B. Here you can see the plus sign is involved, and I am producing C plus D. There is a plus sign that is involved over here. So it says that there are two reactants, and after the reaction we have produced two products as well. Okay, now the next point is an arrow is placed between the reactants and products that points towards the products. You can see that there is an arrow that is in a chemical equation. It basically what signifies? It signifies the direction as well as it signifies where is reactant and where is product in a chemical equation. So from here to that direction, it signifies that the direction is forwarded. That is, the chemical equation is a forward chemical equation, as well as it also signifying that these are the reactants and these are the products. So this is the significance of arrow here. Now we are moving with the types of chemical equation, or you can see the ways that you can write the chemical equation. The first way that you can write the chemical equation is in words, called a word equation. You can write the chemical equation in words, or we can say word equation. For example, the reaction of carbon with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide can be written in words. It can be written in words as carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide, which means that if I am saying when carbon reacts with oxygen it produces carbon dioxide, then how you can write it in word equation? You can just write it down as carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. The next part is in symbols and formula. You can write the chemical equation in symbols and formulas as well. The above reaction can be written in symbols and formulas as you can write down the symbols just like C for carbon, O for the oxygen, and it gives CO2. So C plus O gives CO2. This is the symbolic representation of a chemical equation. Now we are moving further with some key points on your screen. That the first point says during a chemical reaction atoms do not disappear. Just make an attention that during a chemical reaction atoms does not disappear, or atoms do not disappear, and new atoms are not formed. The atoms just get rearranged. Whenever there is any chemical reaction happening around you, so what is happening? Basically the atoms are not disappearing, they are just rearranging themselves in another compounds, or we can say another substances. Okay, the next point here you can consider is a reaction that can proceed in either direction. Either means in both the directions is called a reversible reaction. The symbol this in place of this arrow means the reaction is reversible. So if I am taking the reaction as A plus B produces C plus D, it means that the reaction is a forward directed reaction. Basically what does it mean? That when A reacts with B, it produces C plus D. Okay, if I am writing down A plus B is produced when C reacts with D, what does it mean? That it is a backward directed equation. So when C and D reacts with each other, they produces A plus D. But for this both cases, we take a sign that is this. This sign is of reversible equation. So if I write the equation as A plus B is reversible and C plus D, what does it mean? That this is forward directed as well as backward directed chemical equation. Okay, so these were the points that we have considered about chemical equation. Now we are going to move with the types of chemical equation that are given on your screen. The first type is balanced chemical equation. The word suggests the meaning of balanced chemical equation. What does it mean? That whenever the atoms of all the elements are equal on both the sides of chemical equation, that equation is known as balanced chemical equation. Obviously, if the number of atoms of each element on both the sides of the chemical equation is equal, then the equation is called a balanced chemical equation. For example, carbon burns in the presence of oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So you can write it as carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. This is the example of balance equation. But how can you say that it's a balance equation? You can see that the formula representation becomes C plus O2 gives CO2. We can consider a table over here. If I am writing it down here, the elements, okay, and on LHS, what are the numbers? On RHS, what are the numbers of those elements? So here you can see that there are two types of elements, that is carbon and oxygen. On the left hand side, there is only one atom of carbon. So you have to write 1. On the right hand side, there is also one atom of carbon. When we talk about oxygen, you can see on the left hand side, there are 2 atoms of oxygen, and on the right hand side, there are 2 atoms of oxygen. So that's why you can see the number of atoms are equal on the both sides of chemical equation. So that's why it's a balanced chemical equation. Okay. Now we are moving with the next type of chemical equation, that is unbalanced chemical equation. As the name suggests that it's an unbalanced chemical equation, which means that whenever the atoms of all the elements are not equal on the both sides of chemical equation, it's an unbalanced chemical equation. So you can see the definition that if the number of atoms of each element on both the sides of the chemical equation is not equal, then the equation is called an unbalanced chemical equation or skeletal equation. For example, magnesium burns in oxygen to give magnesium oxide. How do you write it? Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. It's a word equation, and when we write it down as a symbol equation, it becomes Mg plus O2 gives Mgu. Unbalanced or skeletal equation. But how can you say that it's an unbalanced equation? Let's just have the table firstly. If I have a table, I'm writing the things down here. You have to write the elements here, the number of elements present on LHS and the number of elements present on RHS. Okay, as you can see that we have 2 elements over here, Mg and O, that is magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium and oxygen. So on the LHS, you can see on the left hand side there is only one atom of magnesium, so you have to write 1 here, and on the right hand side there is one atom of magnesium. But when we are talking about oxygen, so on the left hand side oxygen has 2 atoms, and on the right hand side it has only 1 atom. So you can see that the number of atoms of the elements are not equal on both the sides. So that's why you can conclude that it's an unbalanced chemical equation. Okay. Now we are moving further, that if we have unbalanced chemical equation, then how can we balance that? How can you balance that? It is written here, since number of atoms of the elements are not equal on both sides, so we need to balance the equation. But what is the process to balance the equation? We are moving further with it, that writing and balancing chemical equation. How you can write the chemical equation and then how you can balance the chemical equation. Firstly, the chemical equation for a chemical reaction is written as follows. The step 1 says that identify the reactants and the products. Firstly, you have to do what? You have to identify the reactants and you have to identify the products of the chemical reaction. The second step says that write down the symbols or formula of the reactants on the left hand side of the equation and separate them with help of the plus sign. What you have to do? You have to just write down the symbols of the formula that are on the reactant side, that is on the left hand side, and you have to just separate them with plus sign. Okay, this is the second step. Next, what you have to do? Write down the symbols or formula of the products. Then you have to write down the symbols of products that are on the right hand side of the equation and separate them by plus sign. You have to again use the plus sign to separate them. The next point says separate the 2 sides, and then you have to separate the 2 sides with the help of an arrow. As you can know that this is the left hand side This is the right hand side. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to just put an arrow to separate both the sides, and then step 3 says that count the number of atoms of each element on both sides of the chemical equation. As I have told you, that make a table and count the number of atoms of each and every element on the both sides. Okay, if the equation is balanced, then leave it as it is, and if the equation is balanced, then you have to leave it as it is. But if the equation is unbalanced, then we must balance the equation by applying further steps. We have some more steps that we have to use for balancing the chemical equation that is unbalanced. Okay, so what are those steps? So step number 4 says that if the number of atoms on both the sides are not equal, so whenever the number of atoms are not equal on the both sides of the equation, then make them equal by adjusting the coefficients in front of the symbols and formula of the reactants. So what you have to do, you have to just adjust them with the help of coefficients. So what are these coefficients? A coefficient is a number that we place in front of a symbol or chemical formula in an equation. So the number that we place in front of any symbol or any formula in a chemical equation is the coefficient. Let's just have an example. If I am saying twice A plus thrice B produces twice C plus twice D. What does it mean? That 2, 3, 2, 2, these all are the coefficients, okay, of A, B, C and D respectively. Okay, so you can take the example as, for example, consider the chemical equation of magnesium with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. If I am taking this example, but why I am taking this example? As we know that this equation or this chemical reaction is unbalanced. Mg plus O2 gives MgO. It's an unbalanced equation. How can you just say that? If I am drawing a table over here, you have to write the elements on left hand side and right hand side of the equation, as you know, and there are two kinds of elements, that is magnesium and oxygen. So on the left hand side there is only one magnesium, and on the right hand side there is one magnesium. On the left hand side there are two atoms of oxygen, and on the right hand side there is only one atom of oxygen. So you can see that the number of atoms of all the elements are not equal on both the sides. So what you have to do, you have to just balance the equation with this step. How can we just balance that? As I have written the table over here, you can see this is a table which clarifies that the number of atoms of oxygen are not balanced. So to balance oxygen atoms, multiply MgO, that is magnesium oxide, by 2 to get this. So what you have to do, when you get the number of oxygen atoms unbalanced, you have to just multiply 2 with the whole product. But why? When we multiply 2 with the whole product, it means that we will get 2 atoms of oxygen on the right hand side as well. Okay, so now multiply Mg by 2 to balance Mg atoms. So when oxygen atoms are balanced, but what happened, that Mg also becomes 2 on right hand side. It also becomes 2. But you can see that on the left hand side it is only 1. Then what you have to do, you have to just multiply with 2 over here also. That is twice Mg plus O2 gives twice MgO. So this is the complete balanced equation. So the number 2 in front of Mg, you can see that the number 2 in front of Mg and MgO, as you can see 2 is placed in front of MgO and 2 is placed in front of Mg. So this number is the coefficient of Mg and MgO, that is magnesium oxide. Now check the correctness of the balanced equation. Now you can just check the correctness of the balanced equation by making a table again. So you can see that now check the correctness of the balanced equation. You have to just check the correctness of the balanced equation by the help of a table. The balanced equation was twice Mg plus O2 gives twice MgO. Now you have to make a table in which you have to consider the elements or mention the elements and the atoms of the reactants on left hand side and the atoms of the products on right hand side. So when we talk about Mg, on left hand side there are 2 atoms of magnesium and on right hand side there are 2 atoms of magnesium as well. When we talk about oxygen, there are 2 atoms of oxygen on the left hand side as well as there are 2 atoms of oxygen on the right hand side. So this is how we can say that we have balanced the equation. Since the number of atoms of each element is equal on both sides of this equation, it is a balanced chemical equation. So this is how you can just balance the unbalanced equation with the help of multiplying coefficients. Okay, so in this session we have covered some important topics of this chapter. Now in the next part we are going to continue and cover the least and the last topics of the chapter. So till then, take care, bye bye, and thank you, and revise the chapter completely.